clutch is all sorted, bled, everything like that. But now we're going to get into the good stuff. Coilovers. So that's the front passenger strut already out. Just thought I'd compare it next to the coilover. These have got to have, according to the instructions, these are going to have an 8 centimeter. Yeah, 80 millimeter, I was right. Of engagement of this thread inside this collar, which I have checked out and done. So at its, it's about to start raining. So at the minimum of that, it is still already, I'll line that top up there, that much of a height difference, which, you know, is probably 30 mil. So it's already about an inch lower than stock at its minimum amount here. Yeah, so this one's out. I've just got to change these over, these little things here, go on these threads here, for the brake line and speed sensor, I believe that one is. And obviously you got your sway bar links here. Don't know what that one's for, but doesn't matter, it's not in the way of anything, hopefully. Yeah, so I'm going to go chuck this in, and then I'll show you driver side one. Alright, let's try a bit of POV style. So take these ones out. Now, these are already still, like, I didn't put them all the way in from doing drive shafts, because I knew I was going to take them back out again soon. So it's 17 mil. Maybe if I say it loud enough, I'll go back in. There we go. So 17 mil on each of them. Put it down a little bit. And then the bottom one, obviously, out of the way. Okay, that's better. Try and push this bottom bolt out. Lift it a little bit. There we go. Right, so that's the second one out. So they got these two bolts here. As you can see, it's starting to go down by itself. Since I last recorded anything, it absolutely busted down with the rain here. There we go, got that. So that's the sway bar link. There. So in case you missed it, these ones are universal sway bar links, because one of mine was missing completely. So and it was either going to be like a ridiculously long wait and very expensive from the UK to get the right ones. These ones were like 20 bucks each, I think they were, for universal style. So I just measured them with the link that was on this side, and then just cut it. Okay, so these two bolts are out. Don't know who put the zip tie here, it was there. That pops out that side, that pops out that one. I'm gonna have to cut that. That one's already out from doing the drive shafts. Have I got something? No, I don't. Oh. Come over to, yes, I gotta get rid of that zip tie. Okay, that's that done. Right, so that goes around like that. Now we come up here where you got this ready to go. 12 mils. Excuse the shaking. He's on a bit of a POV chest strap style. Ow. Right, so let's get that off as much as I can. And come under here. There we go. There we go. Away. And just like that. Oh, heavy bastard. Okay. So here we go, let's driver's side. So I won't bore you with this bit. I'm going to take these two off, transfer them over there, give them a clean up too, and then we'll come back. Okay, so thankfully this comes with new nuts at the top here, which I'll put in place. So the other thing I did too is these are 30-point adjustables with the dampening. So I put it all the way to soft. So I want to go use this as my point. Go one full turn, and then we'll go another half. And that's so there. So I got 1.5. So it's about middle. I'll come over. Oh. Come on now. Pop up. You're not seeing it. Hang on. There we go. Line up that hole. And then that hole. Get that bolt on there. Oh, we're hitting something down here. Hang on. Come down. There. There we go. Do this nut up. Done. What do I do with that? There we go. Oh. So once the coilovers are done, fuel pump should be here tomorrow. I'm going to do a Walbro 255 fuel pump. So that'll be the next video. It'll be how to change fuel pump on your GTi, which unfortunately is a tank job. I've already had the tank out on this as I had a big bit of a fuel leak, because shout out to my mate Jack who got this car running, and Craig and Damien. The old fuel hose clamps were just old and they weren't like tight anymore, so I bought some proper clamps, and then basically I had to replace all the clamps along the line. Alright, so we got that one there. Why is that? Oh, gotta put the bolts in first. Okay, so these ready. Here comes the fun part of lifting up the whole arm, making sure it's the right angle. Lift it up. Right in. I'm trying to get this bolt in a little higher. Here we go. Oh, like that. That easy, huh? And okay, so now this can go in there, there, and there. This go back in here. I'll show you the clamp over there. I'll grab it in a minute. Let's get this bottom one in first. So a bit hard to see. Put it on this side so you can kind of see. So it's not just see there. So it's not quite lined up. So I'm going to get that both lined up, which helps to have light on the other side of it so you can see. Let's just push. There we go. Pull it out. Beautiful. Closer look at that. Almost. There. So the light on the other side, I can see exactly where it needs to go. So close, it's right there. Give it a bit of jiggle. Worst case. There. Hit the end of the bolt. Set that one up. Put this in as well. Alright, there we have it. Wheels are back on. Front coilovers are in. Everything's done up, nice and tight. These are set to half. I haven't changed the camber on them as yet. I'm going to leave it as like that for now. And here we go. We're going to put it down on the ground. Let's see if I can get a good shot from over here. Well, it doesn't look, much different than stock. But, knowing normal coils, just got to give them a week or two and they'll settle. But they're definitely shorter, as you saw from before. So yeah, that's the front done. So when that fuel pump gets here in the next 2 days, we'll get back out here and do the rears. Alright, we're a couple of days later. Turn it around, got the driver's side rear strut out, and same as the front, I've adjusted these to give the minimum amount of engagement with this thread, which is 80mm. So even with this lining up the top plates here and here, we're about 40mm between here and here. So that's maximum, but this is also uncompressed. I noticed that with the fronts, now that they've had a few days to settle, so the fronts are at maximum height, and that is still, I think I worked it out to be about ½ an inch lower than stock. And I don't really want to, the main reason for these coilovers isn't to go friggin' as low as possible, which I will do because I just want to see what it'll look like. I think it'll look mad. It's to get, adjustable stiffness and just new struts. It's 20 plus, potentially near on 25. Well, actually no, it's November now. This is October 2000 build, so these stock struts are friggin' 25 years old at this point. Yeah, I did notice this. So hang on, I lost track of what I was saying. So doing the fronts like this, checking them the distance out, these were shorter, but it's also unsprung. So, it ended up being lower. Anyway, it doesn't really make sense. But what I noticed with this while testing it was even one-handed, I can compress these. Okay, maybe not one-handed, but with two hands I can compress this spring, which you really shouldn't be able to do. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to change these out and go something with adjustability. Because, grabbing the car and shaking it, the whole arse end moves. The front barely moves at all when I shake it, and I did set the fronts to half, which I'll set the rears to half as well. Yeah, so I got the driver's side out just to see, how to do it and whatnot, and to sort of give you a comparison with unsprung heights. So effectively what I discovered with the fronts is that how they are sitting on your table is how they'll sit on the car, because they don't, they're already sprung. These are done up. A mate of mine, Jack, shout out to Jack, he's got a 380, Mitsubishi 380, got BC Racing coilovers recently, and unfortunately they didn't do the preload on these. So his is all janky and stuff, but he's going to Shockworks soon to get a wheel alignment and get them adjusted, which I might do as well because they are legends in the field. Yeah, so this one's out. I'll go put this one in. Also, I noticed that the rears are identical, whereas the fronts have to be, one's the left, one's the right, just because of the positioning and whatnot. These are the same for both rears. So I'll go ahead and chuck this in, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how to do them. Okay, the other side's all done. So obviously we've got two 14mm bolts up here. In there. So two 14mm up there. We've got our 17mm here, another 17mm here, and we've got a 14mm here. That one. To get that back in, there is like a locking nut on the inside here, which you will need to get another 14mm in there, like an open-ended spanner, to undo that one. And that's it. So yeah, this one, and this one. Okay, that's all the bolts undone, and it's just difficultly do this with one hand. Oh, this bloody thing's not right. There we go, and there we have it. Just that easy, that quick. All right, let's chuck them in. Underneath this arm. You can't see shit from up there, eh? Hello. That's better. Sorry. Just that easy. Little time lapse. That's exactly how long it took me to put it in. Time to put the wheels on and put it back on the ground. And there you have it. That's the rear done and the front done. So now, after watching my videos, it took me probably an hour to do the rear, and probably like about the same on the front, to be honest. So you probably look at it like pushing it, and if I had someone helping, probably hour and a half to do front and rears, because you could do, you know, two at the same time. Yeah, there you go. Coilovers are now in the GTi. I'll go pick up the new fuel pump this afternoon, and I'll start doing that. So I've got to drop the tank down, and I've done that before. That's a ton of fun. But anyway, thanks for coming. Yeah. Hooroo.